Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. Now in the last part we did some social link stuff and we also entered into Madarame's palace for the first time. And in today's part we're pretty much going to be it's going to all be dungeon, you know, it's going to be going through the dungeon and going through the palace. And basically going through the palace for the first time, like going through it properly for the first time. So that's what we're doing today. And that was Yusuke being an arsehole, as he is in this early section. So now it's time for us to head into the palace. And pretty much I just went through this and went as far as I could in the initial run, so it's just straight through, go as far as I could, and then we have to initiate some plot stuff in order to continue the dungeon itself. So time for us to enter Madarame's palace. Which I still think, Luke-wise, is probably still one of my favourite dungeons in the game. I just love the design and how, you know, the different colours and how it looks. It's a great looking dungeon. Time for us to go. So we basically, let's steal some shit. We're basically going to be entering through the dungeon, the same way as we did last time, really. Because I think I remember that there was a different... I got this confused, I think, with another dungeon. Don't know why that's there. Because I thought like there would be another dungeon, like another entrance. And you don't go through the same entrance, but apparently you do. So... Which, by the way, this entrance is also the most kind of heist-esque, like the most Phantom Thief kind of entrance, really, for me. The fact that it's like a skylight. So yeah, now we have to deal with security devices. Basically, if we touch it, the security ranking will go up, and enemies will come directly to our location. So... avoid them. Basically, all of them have a different way of approaching it. So you just go up to them without touching it, press the X button, and you will either, you know, jump over it, or you will slide. In this case, we slid. And now it's time for battles. And a new enemy. This is Mokoi. Weak, strong against electric, weak to wind. So. Yeah, your main man is going to be, if you haven't got a Persona wind abilities yourself, Morgana is going to be the main man here. And there we go. Do I try and get them? Yeah, I try and get McCoy. So now we've got McCoy. Basically what that was showing there is that because I've got McCoy, I don't know how you spell it, Mokoi, I'll say Mokoi. Because you've got Mokoi in my first playthrough, that means and I already turned him into a persona in my last playthrough, that means on New Game Plus you can just say, we don't need to talk, you were my friend once, you can be my friend again. Makes it easier. And ambush time. And also the fact that they've got blue underneath there, that they are blue, means that they are weaker than you, so you'll be able to take them out no time. Hoya Po, weak to projectiles and fire, I think it said fire. So yeah, pretty much anybody's useful against these guys. But because I've already got Hua Po in a previous playthrough, I can just start using. I can just get it straight back. which is nice and easy.
Now's the time to retreat.
So yeah, that battle is pretty easy. Huapo isn't that difficult from what I remember, although I do like her design. Her design looks pretty nice. So, slide underneath. Ooh, don't slide too far. I also really love the music track here. It's so it's very
Show me your true form.
it's very chilled jazz. I love it.
Now's our chance to strike.
This is Asperas, weak to electricity, strong against ice. Oh, on a critical strike, so now I can do baton pass to Ryuji and finish her off. Asperas as well is as a design is really nice as well. I really like her design. And because I've already got her in the past, we can get her again. So now we've got Asperas. Pretty decent persona. Oh, we're full. Let's get rid of Bicorn. Yeah, I get rid of. Do we get rid of? No, I get rid of Mandrake.
Now's the time to retreat.
But yeah, Asperas is pretty good. I don't remember using her all that much, but mostly ice, I believe. She used mostly ice attacks, so she's pretty decent as a persona. But once we got Ryuji, not Ryuji. Once we get Yusuke into the fold, like the ice coverage is pretty much done. So
That was easy.
no new enemies, so we'll cut that out. Let's get ourselves some treasure. Lifestone recovers HP by 30 points, I think. And then the other one was just a thing to sell. Yeah, it's kind of irritating to deal with. What have we got here then? Yeah, that's another thing for us to sell. Oh, this yeah, I remember. This one sucks a little bit because of the placement. They're kind of difficult to
Show me your true form.
get on side.
That was easy.
That was a double battle as well, so we got rid of both of them in the same breath, but there was nothing new. Protect Mask. Oh no, there he is. So the Protect Mask basically is an accessory which increases your defense. Basically,
That was so easy.
got rid of him.
Yawning.
Because he's yellow, that means that he's basically on the same level as us. So he's still going to be pretty easy to take down.
Hey,
Yes, so now we get to we've been to this area before, in the initial stakeout. So now this is going to be the new part of the dungeon. And like I said, I really like this dungeon. It has some really good puzzle elements, which I kind of like. Yeah, so we can't go that way because it's locked. And so we got to jump over this. This slows it down a little bit, which is kind of irritating. And there's our first save room. So there we go. We'll now come back to here.
enemy ahead.
We can now come straight back to here, which is nice. Another thing for us to sell. Nice. An unsigned mug. Okay. Yeah, I'm being cautious.
Show me your true form.
Time to kick your ass. Oh, we got another enemy. Cool.
Now's our chance to
Oh, these guys, I love them.
fire skill.
Karupakugo is only weak to fire because you can tell pretty much by the fact that he's got a leaf on his head. But I love their design. It's so awesome. I love his design. It looks fantastic. Yeah, this point I was just like, fuck it, let's kill him. But yeah, I just love his design. He's just like a little cute gnome with a really long moustache and carrying like a giant leaf as an umbrella. He looks fucking awesome. I love his design. It's so cool. But yeah, don't use him a whole lot. Really, I like his design, but I don't really use him all that much. And at the moment, I'm just, you know,
Victory!
it's just all about getting stronger personas so that I can fuse them together to create even stronger personas than that. Early game, you don't really need... Like, early game, I would say you don't really need to get a lot of personas. You don't need to fill up. Straw Doll. That recovers SP, I believe. But yeah, you don't need to get a lot of personas early on. I think you can rely on just...
Show me your true form.
What's the word? You can rely on just using your standout persona and basically just... You know, just keep using one and then rely on the other people for that to strengthen it up. To you know, to use for
Show me your true form.
like elemental weaknesses and stuff. But it's nice to get them anyway. This is
Won't hurt it!
on Muraki, weak to light and weak to gunfire. We don't have light, so gunfire is the way to go. Also strong against dark. No need for that. So now we got on Muraki. Once again, it's one that I don't really use all that often. He has dark attacks, I think, which is pretty useful, and he's at a relatively high level.
Now's the time to retreat!
So yeah, but like I say, in my first playthrough, basically the only time I swapped personas was when, you know, obviously he was weak against a certain thing, and I know, oh, I've got him. I've got a persona with that element, so I can just swap him out and kill him. Otherwise, I just stick to using Arsene, particularly early on, and then, you know, obviously once I can do the persona fusions, then I get, you know, strengthen up the personas, then I strengthen them up, but otherwise I don't bother.
I can feel it.
Yeah, so this is a quick way back. Another selling item. This is a basically just to open up. It's just it's not really necessary, it's just a quick way, you know, a quick way back, really. So let's move on. Yeah, careful, Tom. Jump. There we go. Something else. Where have we got this time? Lifestone. Increases, it's a HP restorative item. Pretty useful. The HP restorative items aren't quite as useful, I find, in this game, just because there are personas, you know, because I think, if I remember correctly, both Arn and Morgana both have, like, HP restorative abilities like media armor and stuff, so not particularly useful. The SP restorative items are more important. Morgana, you're about to make a mistake. Uh-oh. Fucking cat. Morgana, you fucking dumbass. What were you doing? Oh dear. So now here comes a little puzzle section, which took me a little bit of time my first playthrough, but it isn't actually all that difficult. Isn't all that tricky. It's basically go to one side, go to the other side, and then turn off the things. So what we need to do here is we need to jump up here and go to this side.
I can feel it.
Got an enemy. He's at the same level as us, so we'll kick his ass.
That enemy's
And there we go.
scary.
And now what we want is we just want to press this button. Should wonder if I should press it. Let's press the button. And that basically lowers the wall so that Panther can get out. I think this took me a little while. No, it didn't. It did my first playthrough. I was like wandering around like, where do I go? And then finally it's like, oh, talk to Panther first. And it's like, okay, that was stupid of me. So basically now we just go around, then we go around to the other side to free to free Ryuji. Now this is a trick. You don't want to press this one. Instead you want to use your sight. You want to go to this painting. You want to pull the painting off. And press this button. If you press the original button there, which I did my first playthrough because I'm a fucking idiot, what ends up happening then is that what ends up happening then is that a couple of enemies come at you and you basically have to fight enemies at a disadvantage. Not hard, but it's just a pain in the bum. So now we need to find the control room. So how do we do that? Well, I think if yes, there we go. Jump up here and go into this little ventilation shaft, which took me a little bit of time to find my first playthrough, I remember. Because it is quite a small area. And then in this part, basically we just have to find the control terminal, and we found it, so now we just need to type in the password. Unfortunately, we don't know what the fucking password is. So now we're going to have to spend a long period of time trying to find out what the password is. I mean, this is going to take hours. And, oh shit. What are these enemies talking about? Hey, did you hear about those intruders? Yeah, you mean the thieves sneaking around in here? I got a call telling me to change the password just in case. And what did you change it to? Hello. Huh? I said hello, 07734. If reading them upside down, they spell out the word hello. Isn't that a little childish? Hey, it should be fine as long as nobody else find out. It's not like anybody's eavesdropping on us. Anyway, don't forget, when you see the code input, be sure to say hello. So yeah, there we go. We found out relatively quickly. It's kind of pointless. It's not really even a puzzle, really. I would have preferred it if it was a puzzle. Do you know what I mean? Like if you had to find the guard, go out and find a guard who had the password. I don't know why I kept this in. Why did I keep this in? Oh, I must have leveled up. Or got a new ability. Let's see. Yeah, let's kill him. Bye, bitches. Ah. Death. Got some money, nice. And both me and Arn have leveled up. And what did Arn get a new skill? Yes, she got... Miraji. Miraji is basically an all-encompassing fire attack. Attacks all enemies with basic fire damage. Pretty good move to get early on. Sorry, I hit the mic there. It's a pretty useful skill to have. And, you know, when we get like the higher-end skills like Miraji-Dine and Agi-Dine, oh, they'll wreck shop. Yeah. What were you thinking, Morgana? Jesus Christ. There must be something wrong. There's something weird. It is shimmering. Something was drawing me to this vase. I wonder what it was. A vase. Oh, I'd say vase. Fucking hell. So now we've got to look at it. What is it? Oh my god! It's a giant black gem. Joker, catch it. Yeah, so basically this is something which I believe was introduced in Persona 4. Basically in Persona 4 there were these enemies that were kind of like gold, wavy kind of men. And basically, if you found those guys wandering around, they'd run away from you. They wouldn't run towards you. They'd try and run away from you. And basically, when you hit them, you would go into a battle where basically they have no weaknesses and are strong against all elemental attacks. The best thing you can do is just attack with strong physical attacks as much as you can. And after a certain number of turns, which is, I think, random, they will disappear. But what they do give you is they give you, as you'll see here, a lot of money, 5,000, and a lot of experience points. And Morgana gets Lucky Punch. Kind of useful, that move, actually. I like it, Lucky Punch. So yeah, that's when they are they will be they're called treasure demons. They will be randomly in treasures. Basically, they will be masquerading as treasures, and basically catch them and smack them. And if you can kill them quickly enough, you will get a bumper amount of experience points and a bumper amount of cash. So they're useful to go after. Little life stone. Ryuji, will you please look at the guard, for fuck's sake? I do like that, actually. It's kind of cool how it kind of looks like a hole. That's a nice, that looks pretty cool, I'll say that. Right, more. So yeah, they were introduced, I think, in Persona 4 Golden. It might have been in the original Persona 4, I can't remember. Ice Ring protects against ice attacks. Yeah, better defense against ice. Not really useful. For me, anyway. But, yeah, so the best thing you can do is fight those enemies as fast as you possibly can. And we've got ourselves another save room. Nice. I think during this playthrough, during this recording, I think I've run into a few of them, but I haven't run into a lot. So, we'll see what. I think we'll at least see one or two more over the course of the playthrough. I won't show them off, mind, because I think, you know, that's pretty much what it is. It's just whack them as hard as you can. That's all it is. Time to fight you. And I got a level up. Kelpie's got a new skill. Resist brainwash. That's kind of useful. Brainwash is basically it leaves you unable to move and unable to attack. If you so it's pretty useful to have resist brainwash on. Because brainwash is kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. I see it, Ryuji. Let's go. Physical ointment. I think that's a HP restorative item, which I never use. Amethyst. That's just for selling. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, I love this track so much. It's so calm and lovely. Yeah, so now we've been trapped in here with a bunch of enemies. Basically, you from what I remember, you don't even have to kill the enemies. There is a certain painting which has a enemy behind, which has a button behind it. Press the button, and then you will, and it will knock down the barriers, pretty much. So now we got one more. We got a souped up Mook here, but it's, you know, it's worth going after him because of the extra experience points. And I think I show this off just because it's like, yeah, I show this off. Pardon me. I show this off basically. Oh, I love Panther's gun. Hits a bunch of enemies for you know, quite quickly. I'm showing this off. I think I get a level up here from what I remember, and we get a decent amount of XP. Boom. What do we get? Anything else? Let's see. New skill. Captain Kid. Adverse Resolve. I can't remember what that does. I think it just means you can't get... I think it increases the chance of not being affected by certain status effects, I think. So let's take this off the wall, and we got a button to press. Exorcist Water, I believe that recovers one of the status ailments. I couldn't tell you which one though, because I never used those kinds of items, because I didn't get affected by statuses that much during my playthrough, either the first one or this one, so far. But anyway, that's it for this part of Persona 5. Join me next time when we'll be continuing to head through Madarame's palace. And I think I think the first run through of the palace that we're doing at the moment, it's going to last a couple more parts. So I'll see you next time for the next part of Persona 5. See you next time.